good mood because it was
That's
difficult
okay.
situation at his home.
That's okay. We understand. So let me ask for the members that we have here, who can get this role to be the evaluator of Ana Paula? Who we have here?
Maybe Rui.
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 Could you do that, Rui?
Yeah.
Hey, Rui.
Yeah.
Would you be able to help us being the evaluator of Ana Paula Fernandes, the first speaker?
Okay, I need to get an idea of what the project is about.
Sure. Yeah, I can send you that. She's doing.
I'm looking at the agenda. I'm looking at the agenda.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay. Body language.
Yes.
That's it.
Everything's there.
All right. So let me get started with the meeting. Let me share my screen. Looks like. Hey, Alessandro, can you allow me to present my screen? I think I'm not able.
No? Wow.
It says you cannot share your screen while other participants sharing. Looks like someone else is sharing. No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
it's okay now.
All right. Perfect. All right, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So, good afternoon and welcome our friends and fellow Toastmasters. This is becoming the international meeting with friends from Poland, from Mozambique, from Portugal. It's awesome. And it's a pleasure to have everyone here sharing this afternoon with us. To get started, this is our brand new PowerPoint presentation. I'm gonna send to our leaders. This is my suggestion because I have made some changes to put the information to be up to date. Our club recently has been recognized as President Distinguished, and we have met the Club Excellence goals here in Brazil. So this is a true honor for us, and we want to share with you. All right. So to get started, let's start with a meeting guide. First off, if you are not speaking, please leave your microphone on mute. Second, applause in sign language. In our meeting, when we see in the moment we're going to call for applause, we do like that, which is the sign language for applause. It's the sign language that we use to do the applause. Next, try to use the word of the day. For our guests, there will be a word of the day that will be presented by one of our members, which is our grammarian. And there is a challenge. The challenge is for you to try to include that in your speech. If you're going to speak, try to include that during your speech. Also, if you see someone using the word of the day, do the thumbs up. That's the sign that the person has used the word, and it's like an incentive for the person. Next up, place a pin on the timer picture. That's for whoever is going to speak. Search for the timer. Today it will be Aletheia, and try to put a pin on her picture so you can see the cards, the coloring cards with the time. All right. My last quick note, this is specifically for our guests. It's not mandatory to speak, right? This is a public speaking and leadership club, but since you are a guest, you were invited to share with us this moment and understand how the meeting works, how you can make use of these meetings to improve your public speaking and leadership. But it's not mandatory for in this very first meeting for you to speak. Feel free to just hear the meeting, all right? Okay. Our meeting team. as you can see, this is the very first time that we have this type of meeting specifically with a theme called a Toastmasters wears many hats. And I asked everybody to wear wear a hat during the meeting, so we can make we can have fun, and we can make an analogy with the team. Why a Toastmasters wear many hats? As you can see, there is a document from the, as you might know or may not know, there is a document from Toastmasters which motivates us to participate in the club in using various hats or participating in various roles. The first role that you can participate, or the first hat that you can use, is the speaker, right? When you join the club, you're gonna work with your mentor, you're gonna prepare your speech, and you're going to do your speech. So you become the speaker of that day. But there are other hats that you can wear. The second one is the evaluator. The evaluator is that person that's going to provide the feedback to the speaker. It is also the person that can provide the feedback to the overall meeting as the general evaluator. Third person is the timer. How important is this role? This person will control the time during all the meeting, right? Making sure that everything is followed as planned. The fourth is topics master, which is the person that is going to be responsible for the impromptu speech session of our meeting. Next is the table topics speaker. So you can volunteer to be the speaker of that session for the topics master, for the table topics. So it's another opportunity to wear a different hat. Next one is the Toastmaster. Toastmaster is the person who's going to coordinate the ceremony, which is the hat that I'm using today. Next one is the grammarian, which is the person who's going to check and monitor the very good use of language in our meeting, making sure that we're using that correctly. Next up is the counter. This person is a person who's going to control those words that we use in our speech, like the filling words. I tend to use a lot the word so pay attention to that. You may count the number of ands that I'm going to speak. Next up is the general evaluator. As I said, there is the evaluator and then the general evaluator. General evaluator is the person who's going to monitor the whole meeting and provide a very, very good feedback at the end to everyone on the meeting so we can grow as a club. Finally, we have the Hark Master. We don't have this role today, but it's the person that's going to listen to some things during the meeting, and at the end, this person is going to make some questions or make like a quiz at the end. So we make sure that everyone is listening and paying attention to what everyone is saying during the meeting. All right? So we're going to send to everyone after the meeting the link to the Toastmasters Wears Many Hats document. So please, if you have some time, read that document. It's very important. It's very important for the club also, for you to engage in all those possibilities of hats, the different hats that you can wear. This will make your growth as a public speaker much easier in the club. Our club mission here at Brasília Toastmasters, it's to develop public speaking and leadership skills through active participation, inclusive experience, and continuous learning. So this meeting that we are doing today, it's actually to support this mission. We are doing everything to engage our members, to be more to participate more in the meetings, and to wear different hats in our meetings, right? For our guests, did you know that Toastmasters International is actually a non-profit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs? It's really, really worldwide. You can experience this today with the many visitors that we have from other countries. For instance, Toastmasters is now in 143 countries. We have 16,000 plus clubs around the world, and 358,000 members. That's a lot. So you do have opportunity to join meetings in other countries. If you would like to improve your English skills, that's a great opportunity. Toastmasters is also a very important organization in companies, in organizations. There are so many organizations around the world that sponsor clubs for their employees. For example, we have Dell, Microsoft, IBM here in Brazil. Here in Brazil, IBM has 3 clubs. That's a lot of support. We have Oracle, HP, Google. That's a lot. So you can see that Toastmasters, it's known by the quality of the work that we do, because we prepare people to be better public speakers and better leaders. These organizations recognize that and applied and created the clubs inside their own companies to support that. So who are the leaders here in Brasília Toastmasters who are going to lead us in the journey of the next year? So we have Alessandro as our president, Aletheia Mello as our vice president of education, Margarete Carneiro as the vice president of public relations, Rejane Salgado as the vice president of membership, Bruno Rabelo as our secretary, Luis Freire as our treasurer, and Kleber Rocha as the sergeant of arms. So this is the leadership of Brasília Toastmasters who are going to lead us to the future of public speaking and leadership. All right, now we arrived at the roles of the meeting. Who are going to perform, or what are the hats that we're going to be wearing in our meeting today? So the first hat is mine, as I mentioned before. I will be the Toastmasters of the day. My name is Daniel Beck. Next up is Aletheia Mello, who's going to do the timer role. She's going to monitor the meeting, and there are various types of speeches and also the evaluations, and each of these have different times. You'll see that Aletheia is going to present like a green card when someone reaches the minimum time, the yellow card when someone reaches the medium time, and the red card when someone reaches the maximum time allowed for that speech or that evaluation. All right? You'll see that there are some slides presenting what's the specific times for each. Rodrigo Ramos is going to be the accounter, as I mentioned before, the person who is going to count the number of filler words we use, and he's going to provide the feedback at the end for us. The grammarian of the day is going to be King Gibson. He's going to watch out for the good use of English. We don't have the Hark Master today, but we do have the Topics Master, which is going to be performed by Shana Mauns from Mozambique. And to round up our evaluation, Luis Freire is going to be the general evaluator, providing us a feedback so we can improve as a club. I would like to call our grammarian, King, to present now the word of the day. So, King, word is with you. King, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me? Yes?
Yes, we can.
All right.
The stage is yours.
So thank you so much, Daniel. Guys, good afternoon to all. My name is Kim. I will present you the word of the day, which is an expression. It's not just one word. It's an expression related to hats. So the expression is, at the drop of a hat. In Portuguese, it would mean no piscar de olhos. We have 2 examples here for you to understand better this expression. The kid was ready to play at the drop of a hat, like all the kids we know, right? And example number 2, I can't move to another city at the drop of a hat. Yes, we need time to do this. We need time to prepare things, right? So if you please find a spot in your speech to introduce these words in your speech, it would be awesome. So good speech to everybody and have a nice event.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, King. So at the drop of a hat, keep that in mind. And I think Kim is going to put the, also, you can also put in the chat, Kim, for everyone to see the word or the expression of the day in this case. All right, so we have our first session, which is the session of prepared speech. And to get started, we're gonna have Ana Paula Fernandes. She's doing the project Effective Body Language in the Pathways track of Presentation Mastery. The title of his speech today is going to be, Is Fashion Just Fashion? And as you saw in the beginning of the meeting, we are gonna have a switch from Wojciech Tomasevich to be Rui. So who is going to help us today? Ana Paula is going to have from 4 to 6 minutes to do this speech. So Ana Paula, the stage is yours. Sorry.
One of those days, I was wondering, is fashion just fashion? Because we are now on an online meeting. In the old times, when we got to work, we started our day getting dressed and preparing our minds for a day while we were doing that. But what about now? How we do that? Now with our online active life all over, we have our faces wide on the screen. So we don't need clothes anymore. We don't need to get a new pair of shoes. We don't need to get new dresses. Yes, unfortunately, we've lost a part of our personality because we can't show the world our message through our clothes. So what is fashion? Fashion is a form of communicate to the world. Like if you are an executive, if you are in your uniform, if you are wearing that pin on your clothes or that badge on your uniform, you are saying that you belong to a community, to a part of your world. So now we can't do that. But how can we manage these things? We now know that when we used to dress in the old days, we did that to impress a client, to impress a boss, to sell something. And now we are here trying to do that with our faces. So we used to have that questions. Remember, what am I going to wear? I don't have clothes to go there. Yeah, but now the questions got bigger. Now that we are on the screen, the questions are, what I'm going to do? Who am I? How can I manage this? How is going to be my future? We don't know. But you know what? I know that fashion is still important because we have to keep sending our message to the world. So we have to try now to find new ways to do that on the screen. Like this meeting, we are wearing hats to send a message. I personally like to use makeup or, like the top part of my clothes. And sometimes, you know what? The question I would like to ask people, it's just a curiosity. I would like to ask people to stand up and see the part below the waist. just to see how people is dealing with this online thing. But the advice I give to you is just take out your pajamas. Don't stay all day in your pajamas, please. You have to keep your mind health, and you have to think a new way to show the world how you can say things. And that's the advice that I leave to you. And I hope in the future we can deal with this screen thing in a different way. Like, I want to know how to use backgrounds. I want to know how to use, like video backgrounds. I know how to use technology more efficiently. And I know that I want to do a better part for us to create this new brand world online. So let's think about that. And I hope you'll be successful in your choices. Thank you.
Round of applause for Ana Paula. Thanks a lot, Ana Paula. All right, let me share my screen at the drop of a hat. All right, so next up, we have our online feedback for Ana Paula. That's important, so Ana Paula can improve her speech for the next time. So we're gonna have 1 minute in which everyone can leave the feedback for Ana Paula. Do we have the link, Alessandro or Aletheia, that we can share? Oh yes, I can see now. So we have right now in the chat box the link, so you can access there and leave your feedback to Ana Paula.
Just give me a couple seconds, Daniel, just to finish switching the buttons for the English version of the feedback.
Sure, okay. So Alaúzi, I can see your message here. There's no problem. We can put you as host and then you can share your slides, okay?
Thank you.
Alessandro, just let me know once it's ready.
Okay, 1 minute. I forgot that the form was going to be in English.
Okay. All right.
Okay, 1 minute. Well, okay, now you can access the link again. It's going to work.
Okay,
Sorry
perfect. Thanks a lot, Alessandro. No problem. So everyone can access then the link that Alessandro posted there and provide the feedback to Ana Paula. So we're gonna have 1 minute. Aletheia, can you count 1 minute, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Started.
All right, so while you are writing the feedback, I'm gonna move on. You can continue to write your feedback. Next up is Alauzi Pires. Alauzi is doing her project, Understanding Your Leadership Style. The Pathways track is Innovative Planning. And the title of her speech is Altruistic Leadership, Increasing Value for Others. Alauzi is going to be evaluated by Vanessa da Silva. And her speech has from 5 to 7 minutes. Alauzi, we're gonna make you the host now so you can share your screen.
I have to click in here in share screen.
Yes, share screen at the bottom. Yeah. You can see the.
Okay. I'm supposed to find it here. Did you give me the license?
Let's see. Try to click there at the bottom, share screen.
Yeah, I did that. Open. Okay, let me see.
Should open
share screen. Yeah, I did that, but I can't find my presentation. Let me see here, my computer, basic, desktop. Yeah, okay, I couldn't find my presentation here. When I click in share, I can't find my computer here. It's not appear in my computer.
You can share your computer. If you have only one, it should appear as desktop. You can share your desktop, and then you can open your presentation in your desktop and start sharing.
Are you seeing that?
Open it.
No, not yet.
No. Desktop.
You need to select and click Start Sharing.
Okay. Again?
You have to click on screen share, then you select the window that you want to share, and click on share at the bottom. When you click share screen, it will open like a white screen, right? So you have the different applications that you have open. You have to select.
Yeah, really, when I put here share screen, it appears for me desktop, whiteboard, iPhone, iPad, so the system. So I click in desktop and share, but it didn't come. So it's not working. No. Yeah.
Is the file of your presentation opened? Because you have to first open it, and then you share.
It's open on my computer. Let's see. Okay, so maybe I can do without the PowerPoint. It's okay. I want to use the PowerPoint. So let's do that.
All right, so Alauzi, the stage is yours then.
Okay, I use only for me here.
Okay.
So leadership is unlocking people potential to become better. Looking for unlocking this my potential, innate potential, as stated in this quote of Bill Bradley, an American politician, I become to the Toastmaster Club. In this path, the first learning that I had is that without awareness of our leadership style, we will use only few tools rather than expanding our capacity and potential. So after answering my Toastmasters leadership style questionnaire, I discovered that I'm an altruistic leadership. Okay, when I found that, I thought, okay, now I know that my leadership style is altruistic, but what does it mean? So the first thing that I did, it was to go to Google to search, because Google knows everything. So when I put there on Google, the first definition that it brought to me was that altruistic leadership is the guiding of others with the goal of improving their well-being as well emotional state. Okay, when I looked to that definition, I imagined this is a leadership style that it's more people focused than task focused. One learning. Which are the main principles of this kind of leadership? So the first one that I found is empathy. What is empathy? It's the ability of the person to understand and to feel what the other person is it's concerning about. The second one is kindness. So a person that's kind, she generally is friendly, it's kind. She praises for what the other people are carrying out. And the third one, it's listening skills. So this kind of leader needs to be a good listener, and as well as to be able to stimulate communication with the team. And finally, another principle of this leadership style is selflessness. A person that is selfless, it's a person that facilitates the success of others. It's a person that worried about the well-being of others. It's a person that ensures that common objectives can be reached. So this kind of person generally doesn't worry about the returns of these good things. So generally, in some altruistic leadership is someone that make others feel valued. Okay, my second thought was, now that I know the concept of altruistic leadership, what I do with this information. So come my next learning, my next lesson. Our effectiveness as leaders is enhanced or limited by our ability to know ourselves. So self-awareness is one of the core competencies of emotional intelligence. So this includes the recognition of our personality, the recognition of our emotions, our drivers, triggers, our likes and dislikes, as well as our natural talent and abilities. So thinking about that, I thought, okay, now that I know that I'm an altruistic leadership, that maybe I can work better and work more proactively with the advantages and disadvantages of this kind of leadership style. So I confess you that when I read the disadvantages of this leadership style, I become worried. And I thought, okay, maybe there is another leadership style that I can become, and that's better. So it was my third question to Google. Is there another leadership style that's better than the other? So again came my third lesson, that no, there is no one leadership style better than other one. And it looks like that good leaders, they can combine different styles of leadership. So a good lead is that one that can see a situation and put him inside that situation and think, okay, which one is better for me? In brief, this Toastmaster project activity bring me many knowledge. One of them is to know that I'm an altruistic leadership. The other one is to know that I can combine the other ones, my secondary, my tertiary leadership style, and that the effectiveness of this will come from this combination. So I brought a quote that can summarize this knowledge that I got with this project, that is, leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. So let's learn together. Thank you so much.
Round of applause for Alaouzi. Thanks a lot, Alaouzi. It was an awesome speech, and it was more fantastic because you did adapt right on time. At the drop of a hat, you adapted, and you switched from your presentation to a presentation without the slides. That is fantastic.
Thank you.
Let me now share my desktop again. Presentation mode. All right. So we reached again our feedback time. This time we're gonna access the same link that Alessandro just pinged on the chat box, and we're gonna have 1 minute to provide the feedback to the speech of Alaouzi. Please, Aletheia, if you can count 1 minute. Thank you. All right, so while you are writing, I will move on to our next speaker. You can continue to provide your feedback. Our next speaker comes straight from Poland, our international guest speaker. His project is Persuasive Speaking. The pathways is Presentation Mastery. His name is David Krefta, and the title of his speech is Change Your Hat for a Smarter One. The evaluator will be Alessandro Dias. He will have from 5 to 7 minutes to do his speech. So David, you want access, right, to share your screen. So let me stop sharing here and try to share there your screen, please.
Okay.
All right. Yes, we can see. The stage is yours.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I would like to, at the beginning, ask you 2 questions. We know that we have very difficult situation in the world we're against coronavirus, COVID-19. And I would like to ask you 2 questions, and please answer on the chat. And first question is connected with my country, and also second. And first question is, please answer, is the number of coronavirus cases in Poland greater than 450,000? Yes or no? Let's do it fast. And also second question is, what is the number of coronavirus cases in Poland? I will wait 10 seconds for answers. What do you think? What is your guess? Okay. Thank you very much for answering, and let's move to main part of my presentation. Now we have, at the beginning, we have a quote from Plato, from ancient Greece. The beginning is the most important part of any work. And also I have second quote from USA. It's Diane Kahneman. About anchoring heuristic, and anchoring heuristic refers to the human tendency to accept and rely on the first piece of information received before a decision. This guy has got a Nobel Prize, so probably maybe he is smart. And also this definition is connected with slide before, because Plato said that the beginning is the most important part, and anchoring heuristic refers to the human tendency accept the first piece of information. Let's check our results for my questions, because I gave you an anchor which was 450,000 cases, and some people know the real situation in Poland, and it is about only 30,000 of cases, but a lot of people, some people of you gave the number more about this real number. It was only beginning of my speech, and move to the next slide, and it is about Brazil. I think country is a society. Society is a people. When I have asked myself, what do I know about Brazil? I know some peoples from Brazil. The first is Senna, very good car driver. The second is Ronaldinho, and also two other guys. One is beautiful lady, and second man is very handsome man. Probably you should know them. And also we see that in our society, we have a lot of people, and my note is that we should generalize and have a wider hat to look at the full situation. Because we can talk only about our situation in Toastmasters Club, but now we are looking for wider situation. Okay, now I will switch on my presentation to talk about second part about my speech. And now we know that anchoring heuristic works. Anchoring heuristic is popular in negotiation, but we have to remember that negotiation is not only about two guys who want to have agreement about cash. We also negotiate with ourselves, and it is the most important. If you know that anchoring heuristic works from my questions, we can do it at the drop of a hat. So let's start negotiations with yourself, goals from higher but real level, like we will look at the whole country. Sometimes we have great idea, great talent, great people, but without hard negotiation, we can lose it. Important thing in our mind. But the most important part is at the beginning. Our thinking should be wider as we can. And I encourage you to change your mind, head or even head. Everything what is connected with your decision-making process for a smarter one. And I invite you to go deeper into the best time for online worldwide connections and challenge yourself, your idea with other countries in Asia or Europe, as we do with other people in this meeting. Because we have great opportunity to do the best beginning of our new ideas. It is at a drop of a hat, and let's do it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. And let me share my screen right now. Fantastic. We have now reached again our online feedback moment. Now we are gonna provide the feedback to David Krafta in 1 minute. The link is available in the chat window. Yeah, Alessandro has just pinged the link there. So we're gonna have 1 minute to provide the feedback to David. Right, so you guys can keep writing, complete your feedback to David, and we are gonna move on with our meeting. Next up is the timer report. So Aletheia Mello is going to provide us the report of how our speakers did in their speeches today. So I'd like to invite to the stage our timer, Aletheia. The stage is yours.
Hello, everybody. So I'm going to start. Remember that all speakers should do their speech in between 5 and 7 minutes. So Ana Paula have delivered his speech in 5 minutes and 32 seconds. Alaúzi in 6 and 59 seconds, and David in 6 and 59 seconds as well, the same. So all is available to be voted. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, Aletheia. Round of applause for Aletheia for providing us the time report. And let's share the presentation back at the drop of a hat. I like that. Next up, we have the 3 speakers then eligible to be voted as the best speaker of the day. Alessandro is going now to help us with the voting. So he's going to activate now the voting here at Zoom. Yeah, and that's it. So we have now the voting. Everyone can vote for the best speaker of the day. All right. I think it's enough. Everyone voted. Let's move on. Now it's the fun part. We have our networking break. So we are going to do 5 minutes break. This is the time that you can go have some water or go to the restroom real quick. Or you can stay here with us. This is the moment for us to talk a little bit, know each other. And I'm going to stop sharing so we can see each other. So Aletheia, you can count
Yes.
5 minutes, right? All right. Okay, cool. So let me see if we had more people joining the call, the meeting here. Oh, we have an Henrique Porat. Hi, Henrique. Welcome.
Hi, Henrique. He's a Alaúzi friend, I think.
You are on mute.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm here by invitation of Rodrigo, Rodrigo just invited me, and I'm here getting to know you. It's a pleasure.
Awesome. Welcome to the meeting.
Thanks.
I can also see Marcelo RC Igarapapa. It's a hard word to pronounce. Welcome, Marcelo. All right, let me see who else we have here. We have Vanessa. Vanessa, she's already there. Vanessa Santos. Who else we have here? All right, so this is the moment for you guys. Anyone has any questions, would like to share any thoughts, any inspiration moments? Oh, I can see Andressa is leaving. Thank you, Andressa. Thanks for coming. This is the moment for everyone to speak, not only me.
So let's speak.
Yeah, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, welcome to everybody that's new in this meeting. Yeah.
Hello,
so
Alaúde, congratulations.
It's wonderful to have more people. Yeah, so good. Shana, where is Shana?
Where's Shana?
Shana is my new friend. She's here
Great.
talking with me on WhatsApp.
Great.
Yeah, she's here. Shannon's here. Oh, I can see Akiko here. Hi, Akiko. How are you? I also saw you in the Toastmasters Everywhere meeting.
I'm sorry. What?
I also saw that you joined the other club meeting, the Toastmasters Everywhere, which is in English, for the event that we had with the CEO, right?
Wasn't it on Tuesday?
Yes, that's correct.
That you invited the CEO of the Toastmasters.
Correct.
It was wonderful. Oh,
Awesome.
Thank you for that opportunity.
I'm glad that you are returning here. And I can see we have a pirate on the meeting.
Yeah. Oh,
We have a pirate there.
I try myself.
Hello, my friend.
And this. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Akiko, it's you have joined like 3 or 4 meetings, right, already with us?
No, I'm still visitor. I'm still guest. I started feeling bad on that.
Oh, okay. No problem.
But I just simply didn't know how to step forward after being the guest. If I want more engaged, but I just submit my email address from the link tree you guys provided today. So maybe next time I show up on this club, maybe I'm not a guest anymore. I hope.
Yeah, you'll become a member.
Oh, already? Didn't know that.
You are going to. I have faith. All right.
Great.
And see, we have with James.
Who else going to be a member?
Who else is going to be a member? Yeah, I have some hints here. Maybe Valdoliro is going to join us as a member. Yeah, and then I think, if I'm not wrong, Janison's friend is Mia, is it? The Janison's friend who speaks English?
Hello.
Is it? Hello.
I'm taking over his computer. I've just announced that the things that sent by Janison in the chat box were actually from me, because I was taking over his account.
And what's your name?
My name is Tianhui, Tianhui. I'm from China.
Tianhui.
But do you live in Brazil? Do you live in Brazil?
Yes, I live in Brasília. I am and I work for the United Nations here. And actually, Jonathan is my boyfriend. So I sometimes take over his account and vote for the best speakers and make some comments and provide some statistics, which is my specialization, COVID statistics.
Great. That's fine.
Great.
I'm great.
Welcome.
Here again. Welcome to the meeting.
Okay.
All right, I think we are at the time now. 5 minutes have passed. We're gonna return with our meeting. Let me share my screen at the drop of a hat. Let's go there. Speaking of hat, it's time to switch the hat. Let me change the hat. The old one, the black one now. All right. Next up, we are going to our table topics session, which is the moment for everyone to challenge themselves with the impromptu speech, right? And to coordinate or guide everyone on this session, I would like to invite Shana Mounds, who's going to be the table topics master. Shana, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster, sir. I am going to share my screen with you.
Okay.
Awesome. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, like Daniel mentioned, my name is Shauna, and tonight I have the pleasure of hosting one of the most exciting and challenging parts of our meeting, the table topics session. This is the session where you have the chance of thinking at the drop of a hat, thinking on your feet, and delivering a speech without practice. Everybody can join this part of the meeting, especially members without a role or guests. You're free to join, and you have a time frame of 1 to 2 minutes to join. Now, I would like a volunteer to unmute themselves and be our first person participating on this session. Can I get a member first? Who's going to be my volunteer?
Come on, people. I know you can speak. We have good speakers here.
Don't be shy.
Hi.
Who's that?
Vanessa.
Vanessa, thank you very much. Brave Vanessa. So, Vanessa, your challenge here is to explain the word money to an isolated tribe, people who have never witnessed money before. But you cannot use the words buy, sell, and business. You have a time frame of 1 to 2 minutes, and you're encouraged to use the word of the day at the drop of a hat, okay? Off to you.
Okay, thank you. That's difficult. Okay, everyone. So each one of you does something here in the tribe, right? Some of you plant something, some of you do some service. So money is a way of you to exchange the value of what you create. So if you plant something and you go to another tribe and you want to exchange what they have there for what you have, you use money. The advantage of money is that you don't have to carry the goods. So for example, if you plant corn here in this tribe, and there is corn in the other, there are bananas in the other tribe. You can go there and give them money and get the bananas there, and the person can come here to your tribe and get your corn by using the money that they have. So that's the advantage of money. And in the civilization, you can also do that without having to carry the money itself. You can use technology to do these exchanges. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vanessa, for that meticulous explanation of what money is. You did a great job. Now I am going to call upon the stage for our following question, our very own Ana Paula Fernandez. Ana Paula, your challenge is to define the year 2020 for yourself in 2019. If you had the chance to go to the past, time travel, and at the drop of a hat, explain to yourself in 2019 what the year 2020 is without including the words pandemic, social distancing, virus, and Zoom, what would you say? You have a time frame of 1 to 2 minutes and you're encouraged to use the word of the day. Over to you, Ana Paula.
Thank you, Shana. So I would like to say to Ana Paula in the year 2019 that 2020 is going to be a real challenging year, that lives are going to change a lot, and there is this disease that is coming to change the ways of everyone to do everything. So be prepared, keep your spirits high, don't be sad because you're going to face really difficult challenges. And you're going to meet your friends just online. You're not going to be able to meet your friends in person. And that's going to be a way for you to discover yourself in a new way. And be with yourself and know yourself more. Don't give up. Everything's going to be fine. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ana Paula. That was beautiful. I am going to call upon Kim, our grammarian Kim, for our next question. Kim, your challenge is to explain what Facebook is to your grandmother without using the words app, friends, site, and post. You have a time frame of 1 to 2 minutes. Off to you, Kim.
So, grandmother, sometimes I miss you so much, and I wish we can keep in touch. So maybe you can use a platform that some people use to connect with online. There, we don't have actually people close to us. Maybe they are just acquaintances. So, and we can also keep family there. There are other kind of ways to do that, but I think you would like Facebook because, you know, young people, they use TikTok, they use Snapchat, they are on other kind of media. But maybe older people would like to use Facebook. You can check on your daughter, you can check on your sisters, you can post anything about your daily life if you want. And I would love to share some photos with you in this online platform. And that's it. I hope you like it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. If I were your grandmother, I would totally jump into Facebook instead of TikTok. Thank you for that, Kim. Timer, do we have space for another speech?
Maybe one more, and that is.
Okay, one more. So who's going to be our last warrior and come over here and explain something to us? Okay, Luis? Okay, you're next. So Luis, your challenge is to explain the word Toastmaster to your neighbor, a neighbor of yours who have no idea what Toastmasters is, but you cannot include the words speech, club, leadership, and international in your description. You have a time frame of 1 to 2 minutes, and you're highly encouraged of using the word of the day. Over to you.
Hello, Shanna, my dearest neighbor. I would like to explain to you the best organization in the world, Toastmasters. No, you're not becoming the master of the making a toast to eat. It's not the toast, it's the toast to make a toast. Imagine you are in a wedding or in a great celebration. You raise your glass and say, I want to make a toast. You will be the best person to explain and deliver the best speech in the world. So this organization is great because you can practice your oratory, your communication skills, and for me, the best thing in the world is that you can develop with your friends, with your colleagues. Toastmasters is a great place to make friends and the best place to evolve the camaraderie spirit. I have been to Toastmasters for 3 years and I make friends here. Toastmasters is the best place in the world for you to practice and perform and improve your communications. Shannon, you as my neighbor, I urge you to come with me to the next meeting and become one of the best speakers from Mozambique. I invite you and your friends to come in and you will not regret. Okay? Thank you so much, my dear neighbor. Bye-bye.
Bye, neighbor. When's the next meeting? I'm joining, and I want a hat that looks just like yours for our next meeting, just FYI. I want to thank everybody that participated during the table topic session. It was very interesting hearing all of your responses, and I look forward to our next one. I'm going to hand over the meeting now to our Toastmaster of the day, Daniel Beck. Over to you, Daniel.
Thanks a lot. Once again, a round of applause for Shanna. It was a fantastic, awesome, amazing tabletop session. It's the first time that I saw a session like this where we have a question and we have some words that you're going to say. It's a real challenge for the speakers. Fantastic. Very good. Let me share again my desktop and presentation. All right. Right off the bat, I'm going to hand over to Aletheia Melo to do the timer report for the table topics session. Aletheia, stage is yours.
Thank you, Daniel. So now they should do their speeching between 1 and 2 minutes. So Vanessa delivered it in 1 minute and 50 seconds. Ana Paula in 1 minute and 15, Kim in 1 minute and 14, and Luis in 1 minute 40. So everybody is eligible to be voted. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Aletheia. Great report. Let's move on. Next up is the voting. We now have to vote for the best table topics speaker. Alessandro has just launched the voting, the pool. We can now select one and submit our votes. All right, I think everyone has voted. You can continue voting. And we are going to move to our third session, which is the evaluator's feedback. To get started, I would like to invite Rui Henriques, who's going to help us do the evaluation of Ana Paula Fernandes. The evaluation length will be from 2 to 3 minutes. Rui, I would like to thank you in advance for your flexibility to help us with this evaluation. Rui, the stage is yours.
at the drop of a hat, I took on the role of being evaluator. And no, I'm not going to stand up to show what I'm wearing from the bottom down. Ana Paula, you brought us a very interesting topic. Is fashion just fashion? And the way that you developed it, because of our lives now online, basically all we can see is that which fits into the camera. What is not seen, it remains the secret of everyone. You started very well, and then you reinforced with the question at the end of your introduction, which is also the question from your title, which made that curiosity for us. In terms of this particular project, you were supposed to be working your body language, etc. Here, rather confined to more facial expressions and some of the gestures. You were very good in terms of the gestures. I like the one where you said faces wide on the screen, and you actually looked as if you were enlarging your face. When you were talking of the executive, so top down, we could imagine someone in a pinstripe suit. When you were talking about the badge on the uniform, you referred to it, etc. And something that you did very well online is the fact that your gestures were not fast, as we tend to do on stage. You slowed them down so that they would not be fuzzy on the screen. So that is something that you did very well. Now, Ana Paula, you come here to Toastmasters for points of improvement, and I have a number of them. The first one, in terms of the structure of your speech, I would have liked to have seen a better flow of your ideas leading into a conclusion, because you tended to jump around with sometimes one-liners, getting into a conclusion, and then basically wanting to go further. One of the other things that you could have done to show us this change in the fashion, and if it's still fashion, you could have used some props. I wouldn't say take off your clothes, but just have some props in terms of showing us how things change and what we could see then as different with the online. Your title is interesting. However, I would have liked to have been possibly even more punchy. What about having fashion, 2 dots, is it still fashion? So causing us to reflect on the fashion that we had and what it is like now. Also, like our second speaker, you could have taken the opportunity to stand up and delivered your talk, which would have been make it easier for your gestures online. Possibly you didn't want to show what you were wearing underneath, but I will leave that entirely up to you. In terms of some of the gestures which you need to be careful, on 2 occasions you use the finger as if pointing. Do you know what? And let's think about it. So you were pointing. Some unintentional movements with your left hand at times floating like this. But on the whole, we're all adjusting to fashion online and speeches online. So all the best for the next one. Ana Paula.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Rui. That's what I call a very, very great feedback, with a lot of reinforcing like the positive things, and then providing a lot of elements that you can improve in your speech. So that is fantastic. Thanks a lot, Rui. Next up, let me share my screen again. Next up is Vanessa da Silva. Vanessa is going to evaluate the speech of Alaúzi Pires. Her evaluation length is from 2 to 3 minutes. Vanessa, the stage is yours.
Hello, Alaúzi. It's always a pleasure to see your presentations, because you always transmit good vibes. You're always smiling. You have a very pleasant way of presenting. As usual, as everyone that is here, there is always something to improve. And one thing that I think you could have done is to test the sharing of your presentation beforehand, to avoid the technical problems that you have. And another thing that I think you could have done is to rehearse more, is to try to prepare your presentation with a little more time to rehearse. You, as usual, you have a very good vocal variety, and I liked the way you use humor in your speech. And I would like to challenge you to have your presentation ready 1 week before the day of the presentation, so that you can rehearse more and to avoid, we talked a little and you said that I think you got a little bumped because of the evaluations of not looking right into the camera. And I think this is not a problem for you. I think it's only a case of rehearsing more. I think if you really dedicate to rehearse more, you're going to look straight to the camera and it's going to be much better in this sense. Thank you very much and congratulations again.
Round of applause, Vanessa. Thanks a lot, Vanessa, for your evaluation. Next up. Alessandro Dias, who is going to evaluate the speech of David Krefta. Alessandro also has from evaluation length of 2 to 3 minutes. Alessandro, our pirate, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Daniel. And congratulations, David. Thank you for joining us this afternoon here in Brazil. So first, I'd like to talk about the project itself. That was going to be persuasive speaking. And I believe that you did deliver a great speech here. And the beginning of that, I believe for everyone was kind of distant for us here in Brazil because you bring Poland in your speech. But just after a few minutes, we brought the Brazilian flag. And that really make, I believe, all of us engage with you because of that bright, great colors of our flag. That was a great way for our friends being here in our country and to start to speak with us. And I really believe that make a great difference in your speech because really bring that down to us here. And using the first questions about COVID did the same because it's all the same for everyone in the world. So COVID-19 is a great way to start engaging about questions. How is that happening in our country? And what's your opinion about the numbers here? After that, we twisted for Brazil and you start to bring a little more talk about that. And what I like that in your talk is that every time that you start to do some speech, you use really well your body language. Like, and you talk about your thinking in the mind that really make us do that with you. Online meeting, I believe, is really tough to bring the best out of us for persuasive speaking because we can't feel the audience because we are looking for the cameras. So I believe from this side that really did a great job because I was looking for you and looking for your speech there. One thing that I believe you could do better and try to improve more is maybe go more straight during the beginning of the speech to bring your idea. When you stop sharing your screen, that was almost 5 minutes from the beginning, and I think you lose time for giving best your speech about influence people. So that was one downside for me. And after you stop with screen sharing, I believe you could bring more deep questions for us because I believe during online meetings, questions can be a great way to help to make us connect with the audience. So my advice or challenge for you is try to think about more deep questions and really try to make us really think what you want us to think. After all, congratulations. That was a great speech. Our club's open to have you anytime here. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Alessandro. A round of applause for Alessandro. Share my screen again. And now we have reached the timer report again. So we would like to hear from Aletheia how our evaluators did. Aletheia, the stage is yours.
Thank you. So for now, they should do their feedback in between 2 and 3 minutes. So Rui delivered it in 2 minutes and 47 seconds, Vanessa in 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and Alessandro in 3 minutes and 10 seconds. So all of them are eligible to be voted. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Aletheia. All right. So now we have reached the voting for the best evaluator. We heard that everyone is eligible, and Alessandro has just kicked off the pool for us to vote. So take your time and vote on the best evaluator, please. Alrighty, so you can continue voting if you haven't completed already. We're going to move on to our next session, which is the reports session. And we're going to start with our account report from Rodrigo Ramos. Rodrigo will have from 2 to 3 minutes to provide his report. I'd like to invite Rodrigo. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm afraid this is a short time. It was a tough task, you know, when people speaks on a second language, the brain is very, very occupied, and the account they ask. Let's go to the report. You, Daniel, is not your problem, so is your problem. You said 12 souls and 7 us. Kim was okay, Ana Paula great, just 3 us and 3 souls. Alauzi, I recommend you to watch the record of this meeting to see the challenge for you. It was 21 us and 10 souls and 14 repeating, like the license we use our potential and so on. David Crafter says 8 us, 14 or us is difficult to distinguish, and 4 but. Shanna, it seems to me that she's from England or USA, not Mozambique. Vanessa says 3 us and 3 souls on her speech during the table topics, and 1 and 2 repeats. I like, would like to, and in both a lot of and. The total almost 10. Luis did not use any word like or so. Aletheia used a lot of so, Aletheia. Rui, perfect, another Englishman. And Alessandro, for you to see, Alessandro, that did not use this kind of word in Portuguese, said 2 uns, 3 souls, and 3 ends. That's all. Thank you.
Round of applause for Rodrigo. Thanks a lot, Rodrigo. Excellent report. I really need to control my souls and us. It's really hard. All right, let's move on to our next report. Which is the grammarian report that will be provided by Kim Gibson. He will have from 2 to 3 minutes to provide his report. Kim, the stage is yours.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So guys, hello again. I divided the feedback in some parts, specific parts, so we can practice separately. So the first one is pronunciation. Here are some words I heard mispronounced, and I would like to reinforce and stress the pronunciation. So pay attention, guys. The number one is successful. You should, every time you see double C, you try to pronounce very much the C, okay? Successful. The number two, it's a very common mistake in English. This word is not there, it's there. It's the same pronunciation as there, okay? So don't confuse those two. Number three is self-awareness. Yes, this word is a little bit difficult. Awareness. Number four, effectiveness. Effectiveness. The stress of the word is very important, okay? This word is the most mispronounced word I always see people talking. When people pronounce this word, I always notice it. We don't say country. We don't say, what is it? Country. We don't say country, we say country. Country, okay? So, because in Portuguese we are used to say country, right? But it's country. And the last one, number six, we say project. So those are the pronunciations we need to rehearse. And here's some structure. When we use confess, we say confess to someone, yes, not confess someone. And in the sentence number two, one person said, there is no one good leader better than others. This one here is to substitute a name. If we have good leader here, we don't need this one in the sentence, okay? One is a neutral pronoun we use to substitute for other words. Society is a people. We don't use article before plural, okay? For example, he's a doctor, they are doctors. People is plural, so we don't need to use this a here. And pay attention to this part. Have good speakers here. We don't use have to talk about existence. We only use have for possession. So there is or there are good speakers here. This is much better when you use the English grammar. And congratulations to Ana Paula. She said, keep up, spirits high. It's a good expression. Rui said, in terms of, he said, all the best. Those are very good expressions to use as well. And Vanessa used a very important word for Toastmasters, rehearse. We all need to rehearse. This is a very important verb, yes? And I wish you all rehearse more your speeches before the presentation. Thank you, Danielle. The stage is yours.
Thanks a lot, Kim. That is what I call a fantastic grammarian report. It really helps us grow and improve our English. So let me share again my screen. Next up is our general evaluator feedback, will be provided by Luis Freire. Luis will have from 5 to 7 minutes to provide his report or feedback. Luis, off to you.
Thank you very much, Danielle. My purpose as the general evaluator. Everybody's here? Okay? Okay. My purpose as general evaluator is to evaluate everything that happens in the meeting. I have taken some notes during the meeting, and now I must share my impressions with you. First of all, there was no problem with our virtual room. There was a previous time for check-in. This is a practice usual in Brasília Toastmasters. The guests were properly presented and welcomed. The previous time for check-in is a very good measure to help to mitigate some problems, such as we have today. Today we had the absence of an evaluator. And this anticipation helped the Toastmaster to solve the problem at the drop of a hat, with little impact on the starting time. In fact, we have started just 2 minutes after the scheduled time. Anyhow, in the beginning of the speak of the first speaker, we already had 7 minutes of delay. The meeting guide, the explanation about the tips about turn off the microphone and how we should applaud is really a very good idea, mainly when we have visitors that are not familiar with online meeting or with Toastmasters. But it seems to me that we must do this before the meeting, at that previous time, the check-in time. And in fact, this is how our agenda is scheduled. And I think that when we present the roles of the meeting, we can already say at this very moment who will perform this role in the present meeting. This will help us not to have such a delay on the beginning of the meeting. Our Toastmaster was very well prepared and organized. He himself started the meeting, though the most usual is an officer assume this whole role and then present the Toastmaster. But there is no problem with this here. It's just an observation. About the word of the day brought by our grammarian, I think it was a very good choice. It was not really a word, but an expression, but the choice reached the goals of improving our vocabulary and was very well fitted for the theme of the meeting. About the table topics, I thought that the topics master wonderfully created and guided this moment of the meeting. It was really interesting to hear our colleagues trying to explain challenging topics without using some keywords. It was quite a challenge on our thinking and speaking skills. Everybody was called to participate to the table topics with priority for the members, but our visitors were also encouraged to participate. I could see that our special guest, the topics master, tracked the time appropriately, asking for time as she saw that we could possibly be out of schedule. And finally, she returned to the Toastmaster in a very proper and elegant manner. About our evaluators, I could perceive that our first evaluator, Rui, did an incredible job. We can see that he really paid attention to the speech, search for the matter, search for the way of presenting. He described specific observations about many parts of the speech. I just want to remember him to look at the camera. I want also to say that he had particular attention to the objectives of the speech, about the gestures that the speaker made during the speech, and I'm certain that he helped a lot our speaker. I can also say in a very similar way to Alessandro. He noticed how our speaker prepared his speech, how he tried to engage with the audience, the Brazilian audience. Vanessa also have good observations to Alaúz. I think that I only point that she could have brought some specific tips for the project. It was a good, but it was a good evaluation, as the others. All the evaluators could motivate and bring positive feedbackers for our speakers. our timer did a great job, such as for our accounter, who reported a lot of A's and repeat words that was repeated during the speeches. Our grammarian, King Gibson, finally presented us with a real English class. This is very important, mainly because most of us are not native speakers, and he was very impressive, and also noticed not only what we did wrong, but also good usages of the language. And that's the notes that I have took. Thank you very much, Daniel.
Thanks a lot. What a wonderful report and feedback for us, Luis. Definitely, we have a lot to improve in our meeting structure, especially at the beginning. Today we had a meeting with a kind of a demo of the presentation, the new one, the new layout, but we definitely can improve and structure that better for the next one. So let me share my screen now. Actually, before I share my screen, let's do one thing. Let's do our picture of the meeting. It will be a very fun picture. So everybody turn on your cameras. Turn on your cameras. Turn on your camera. Luis Freire, Valdolírio, Vanessa, Rodrigo Ramos. Everyone. So I can see still Luis Freire, Valdolírio.
Just a second, please.
Oh yeah, Rodrigo Ramos is appearing a second time. All right, so we are waiting for Valdolírio and Vanessa. That will be a nice picture, Rui. All right, so it's time. No, we're gonna take now. So everybody look at the camera. Do not look at the picture down there. Look at the camera.
Cadê o dedo, Alessandro?
Look at the picture. Look at the camera. Say X, X. There you go. Okay, there will be one more. Valdolírio is now back. Hold on. One more. Sorry. Okay, now once again, look at the camera. Next. Okay, that's awesome. Thanks a lot. And now we're gonna move back with our presentation. Fantastic. It's that moment, the winners of the day. Let the drum roll. To get started, our best table topics of the day goes to Luis Eduardo. Congratulations, Luis Eduardo. Awesome speech.
Woohoo!
Next up, let the drum rolls again. And the best evaluator of the day goes to Rui Henriquez. Fantastic. That's awesome. Thanks a lot, Rui. It was a great job. And finally, let the drum rolls. The best speaker of the day goes to Alaúzi Pires. Congratulations, Alaúzi. Awesome speech. And it was at the drop of a hat once you had a problem with your presentation. That's a very, very good example of surpassing problems. All right, move on. Final announcements. Remembering our next events, they are all free. The next meeting from our club will be held in Português, and it will be on July 18th. And also, we have our check-in as a standard time at 3. Actually, the meeting starts at 3 p.m. and I have 15 minutes before that, the check-in. And what about the English meeting? The next English meeting will be held only on August 8th, and it will be at the same time with check-in at 2:45, starting our meeting at 3 p.m. And that's about it for our meeting, which was great, fantastic. Would like to highlight again our President Distinguished and Club Excellence. one more thing I forgot to include here is that I would like to invite everyone to join us next Saturday in the Hall of Fame, or Hall da Fama in Portuguese, event from the Toastmasters Brazil. There will be some awesome news that will be revealed there, and I really, really, really would like to see everyone from the club there in the meeting. All right? Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great rest of weekend. And that concludes our meeting.
Woohoo! Daniel.
Right. We're gonna
Thanks, everyone. See you
Thank
soon.
you,
Daniel.
Bye.
Não falta.
Obrigada.
Thank you for inviting me, Daniel, for inviting me, for receiving me, everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Valerio. Any questions?
Oh, no questions. Everything's
right.
okay, all right, it's fine. You are
Amazing.
Good.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, David, for
Glad
being
to
here.
be here. I'm glad to be here.
Right. Thank you, everyone, for
Let's keep in
invitation
touch. Thank
and
you.
everything.
Thank you.
Bye, Rui.
See
Yeah, can I
ya.
just say a few words?
Yes, Zoe, please.
Okay.
See ya the next meeting.
Good. Danielle, I've just sent you a message privately in the chat, first of all.
Okay.
Right. I thoroughly enjoyed this session. I've had a long day. I'm 4 hours ahead of you. So it's nearly 9 o'clock here, right? So it's a bit tiring and I've had a long day. I felt drained for energy in the beginning, but as the session went on, I sort of came alive again. Thoroughly enjoyed. On the whole, Brazilians speaking very good English, which is not that easy. So congratulations to all of you guys. So extremely well done. To our visitor from Poland, great to see you also. I've come on more than one occasion. This is the first time I've come to an English session. I've chatting with Alatea on WhatsApp, so she's going to keep me informed as a result of Janison having set up. I've met Luis França, who's proudly showing a certificate. I would like you all to look at his certificate. Yeah, show it to
Please.
Because Luis França, okay, there's the cedilla that's missing, and a group of other people and myself for a number of years have been responsible for the revision of the translated material pathways from the Portuguese to Brazilian. Now, I know that it might not satisfy everyone. However, I've spoken before, and to justify, we've had to have a bit of a balance between the different Portugueses, although the predominance is the Brazilian Portuguese, so that it is understood by everyone. We've got people like Shana here, who's got no problem with the English to read the English manuals. However, some colleagues of hers in Mozambique are probably benefiting from Louise's work and other people that I work with as reviewers. So, Louise, congratulations. We've been having a bit of a break more recently, but there's going to be more work coming along from Catherine and the people at head office, so we're going to be up to it. Great, great session. And the last word for Shana. Aonde é que aprendeste a falar inglês de uma maneira tão imaculada, menina? O teu inglês é absolutamente divinal.
It's like an American. It's like an American speaking.
Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana. I used to be a huge fan of Hannah Montana when I was a kid, so I just grew up watching that
so
show.
you imitated.
I just picked up the accent.
So you started imitating Hannah Montana, okay? What's the real name? What's the name? The actor, the singer, Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's crazy now, but I mean, when I was a kid, she was like an idol.
Yeah, but it's perfect. It's wonderful. And then the accent is there. I come from South Africa and I teach English at the British Council here. And wow, you really were fantastic. So, come visit more often and help these Brazilian friends to even go to a higher level because they're on the right path already. Well done. Go for it.
Thank you, Rui.
Thank you. And I mean, I second what you say around like the people in this club. I was really surprised. I think you guys have like really nice English. I've met a few Brazilian people and they're just too Brazilian in the way that they speak English. It's like, oh, you know, like the whole chu or gente, like you guys say, like you can really catch when they're talking, you know, you can easily say that they're Brazilian. But I found that here in this club, you guys are really, really good, and praise to you guys. Like, kudos, really nice. You guys are really good.
I support that. I endorse it.
You're so kind.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So what about David Krefta? Any feedback for us? What did you find about the meeting?
It was my first meeting in English. My English is not very well, but I tried. I think the best thing was our Toastmasters. Daniel, he was great because it was different style of leadership from Poland. I invite also everyone to Poland's meeting if you want. And also it was new, something what did Shana, Mozambique, from Mozambique. Table topics was different in Poland and different in Mozambique, and probably also I will meet with Shana. I don't know if my pronunciation is good in her meetings. And what I think more, it's the most it was for me surprising that you use polls for the winners of speech, for the winners of table topics, and it was great. In Poland we do not use it. I will try to do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here with us, for sharing with us this moment. It's very good. And it's actually the very first meeting that we do wearing our hats. So it was fun to see everyone wearing a hat. And it was fun to see the different styles that appearing during the meeting. We had a pirate, we had an angel. At some moment I saw an angel in the meeting. It was very fun. So thanks a lot for actually participating and actually coming to the meeting with the hat, which was very fun. Yeah. All right, who else we have? So what about Henrique Porá, the angel that I saw? Any feedback for us? How did you feel about the meeting?
Well, I was very shy at first, but I think that's a process that every one of us has to go through, I think, to kind of lose this first barriers that we find in speaking English. It's always a challenge for me, but I think it's a good effort and a good process, a good exercise that every one of us has to make here, and it's a wonderful way to practice and improve ourselves. So thanks once again.
Thank you very much, Henrique. Thank you very much for your feedback. Very good. So what about Gilmar? Gilmar?
Hello.
What did you feel about the meeting?
I enjoy it a lot. I'm not used to being talking English daily. I listen to English daily, but I don't talk. And I guess it's a good opportunity to practice. At first, mainly because of my level of English, to listen a lot, not to pay attention, to try to improve. I enjoy it a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's the real goal of this meeting. In the beginning, when I started participating in the English meetings of Brasília Toastmasters, it was a little bit challenging. We had some members that were still developing, but we could easily see from meeting to meeting the growth, the improvement, and people were gaining confidence. We're being more comfortable being in the stage and speaking in English. And that's the whole purpose. When we take off this shame or this fear of public speaking, and especially in English, it makes it easier for us to start literally listening and understanding and learning, right, about English. So it was very good lesson. The next up is Marcelo Igarapava. Do you like to talk, Marcelo? You can speak in Portuguese if you feel more comfortable. You are on mute. You are on mute.
Ok.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Meu nome é Marcelo, eu sou da cidade de Igarapava, fui convidado pelo Luiz para participar da reunião e para eu conhecer o Toastmasters, que eu não conheço ainda, e ver como é uma reunião pela primeira vez. Ele logo já me coloca numa sala onde a reunião está sendo em inglês. Eu adorei, mas eu falo muito pouco perto do que vocês falam, né? Então, mas deu para entender bastante do que cada um disse. Então, eu gostaria de agradecer muito por ter sido convidado, conhecer um pouco do Toastmasters. A minha intenção é abrir um clube aqui na minha cidade, e é a primeira reunião que eu participo. Então, eu fiquei agradecido com o que eu ouvi, e feliz de ver pessoas com um nível tão grande de aprendizado no inglês e falando de uma forma tão suave como falar. Parabéns para todos que falaram aí.
Muito obrigado, Marcelo.
Obrigado
pelo
Marcelo.
feedback. A ideia é justamente essa. A gente está falando em inglês para se desenvolver e realmente é uma boa oportunidade para tu ver a dinâmica também da reunião. Apesar de não entender, de repente, talvez tudo que a gente falou durante a reunião, uma oportunidade legal para entender como funciona a dinâmica, os momentos da reunião, que no fundo o objetivo é a gente desenvolver essa questão da liderança e de oratória, a gente falar um pouco melhor. O inglês vem junto com o Toastmasters, com essa oportunidade incrível que a gente tem no nosso clube.
Posso falar só mais uma coisinha?
Claro.
Eu vim do Rotary Clube de Igarapava, né? E eu ouvi falar pela primeira vez do Toastmasters numa reunião internacional do Rotary. Então, eu quis conhecer o que era o Toastmasters. Então, por isso que eu estou aqui na reunião hoje, devido ao Rotary e essa parceria que está se iniciando entre os dois clubes.
Excelente, muito obrigado por ter vindo, e te convido a participar da nossa próxima reunião em português. Vai ser no dia 18, a nossa reunião em português. Acho que vai ficar um pouco mais fácil para você entender a dinâmica da reunião e participar também, até na sessão de discursos de improviso. Muito obrigado por ter participado.
Muito obrigado.
All right, switching back to English. Any other comments? I think yes. So okay, let's hear from Chan Hui. Chan Hui, what did you feel about the meeting? Your feedback.
Look at the key. Okay, sorry.
There is someone.
I'm able to unmute myself, but I think it's my 4th or 5th time attending in an English meeting of Toastmasters Brasília. I feel like it's a very open and dynamic environment, and it feels like a family, like a tight-knit community of the members. And of course, for me, it's like personally, I feel very relaxed talking in English and hearing people talking in English, especially if when we are all working from home at this moment. It's really nice to hear and talk and then exchange ideas in English. And for me, it's very relaxing. And I would love to see more Brazilian taking part in English language training and capacity building programs like this, because it's not just good for language skills, but also communication skills, and also lifting up the self-esteem and self-confidence. And it has multi-faceted benefits for career development and also for personal development.
I agree. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. And also, when I started learning English, I actually started from debating. So I started at a more aggressive, harsh speaking style, but here I feel like everyone is very friendly and it's very calm. No need to argue, no need to fight for your opinions. It's fantastic.
That's correct. That's the whole purpose of this environment. We are an environment that we are here to make mistakes and to learn, right? Like I did, like the misspell that I did with the land. That Rui corrected me. Thanks, Rui. That's very good. That's the type of thing that we are here to receive the feedback, right? So we can make the mistakes and then we receive the feedback. And I can see that we have now a cowboy on the call. Oh my God, what the hell is that?
Come on, Daniel. You know me, man.
Take a photograph. Quick, of Alessandro. You need to do it with a pin video. Come on, Alessandro. No. Go off again.
Oh, sorry. Hello, my friends.
He looks like a musician here in Portugal.
Alessandro, I want to fight you.
How are you, my friends? How
he
are
looks
you doing
like
there?
a musician here in Portugal, Kim Barreiros. Okay, Alessandro, you must look up Kim Barreiros and his concertina, accordion. Okay.
Muy amigos.
You look great.
Thank you, Roy. That's great. Even my voice changed.
Guys, everybody should try Snapcam. Snapcam is awesome.
Okay, yeah, we'll try that.
Look,
thanks
it's
everyone.
9 o'clock here in Portugal. I'm going to say goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye to everyone.
Go well.
Goodbye, Roy. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you so
See you
much.
soon.
See you.
Take care.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Ai, Alessandro, quem que te aguenta?
Oh my God.
Ai, gente. E o Kim, só ver vocês dois se divertindo aí.
I couldn't avoid it.
É muito divertido, é maravilhoso.
Ai,
Sobrou
gente.
só o Brasil aqui agora.
Eu não achei.
Que reunião espetacular, hein, galera? Que reunião
Muito
sensacional.
boa,
essa daí.
excelente.
Daniel,